us today. We're delighted to have participants joining us from different countries and professional backgrounds. Before we begin, please introduce yourself in the chat and let us know where you're joining from. I'm Kelly and I'm joining from Somerset in England. Have we got any chats going on? I don't think we do we? Okay. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another insightful webinar organised by the London School of Emerging Technology. My name is Kelly Knight, and I will be your host for today's session. Today's webinar is titled The UK Opportunity, Choosing the Right Immigration Pathway for Digital Professionals. The United Kingdom continues to attract talented professionals, entrepreneurs, startup founders, innovators, and business leaders from around the world. However, understanding the right immigration route can often feel overwhelming. Today's session is designed to provide clarity, practical insights, and strategic guidance to help you better understand the opportunities available. Before we begin, please answer in the chat, what is your primary goal for considering opportunities in the UK? Is it A, career growth, B, business expansion, C, startup launch, or D, long-term settlement? So we'll just wait for some answers to come in. And it's now my pleasure to introduce our speaker, Maya Kalanoska. Maya is a corporate immigration specialist and UK visa strategist with extensive experience supporting professionals, entrepreneurs, founders and businesses in navigating UK immigration pathways. She has worked closely with applicants seeking opportunities through routes such as the Global Talent Visa, Innovator Founder Visa, and Skilled Worker Pathway, helping them make informed decisions and build long-term immigration strategies. Please join me in welcoming Maya Kalanoska.
Thank you, Kelly. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us. Today, we will explore how professionals, founders, entrepreneurs, and innovators can navigate UK immigration pathways strategically. This session, just to confirm from the outset, is not to provide personal legal advice. Rather, we will discuss and help you understand the landscape, the opportunities available, and the factors that influence successful applications. Many people begin their immigration journey by searching for the fastest visa. However, any experienced advisor knows that success comes from choosing the best pathway that aligns with the applicant, your profile, achievements, and long-term objectives. During this session today, we will examine common routes, discuss how applications are assessed, review real-world scenarios, and identify practical next steps.
Thank you, Maya. Are you going to do anything now on exploring UK residency routes?
Yes. So exploring UK residency routes. When considering the UK, applicants often come from different backgrounds. Some are experienced professionals seeking employment, others are startup founders planning expansion, some are recognized experts in their fields, and others are graduates exploring international opportunities. The UK immigration framework reflects this diversity. Different routes exist because different applicants bring different forms of value. The key question is not simply which visa exists, but rather which route supports my goals, experience, and future plans. Today, we will focus on the routes most relevant to founders, professionals, and innovators.
So for anybody watching, I would say it would be a good idea to ask yourself, what would you most like to gain from today's webinar?
Maybe we can move to what makes the UK a magnet for global professionals.
Should hopefully be up on the screen now.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, so the UK remains one of the world's leading destinations for talent and entrepreneurship. It combines access to global markets, investors, universities, innovation ecosystems, and highly skilled workforces. For founders, the UK offers access to customers, partners, and capital. For professionals, it offers opportunities to work with global organizations and cutting edge industry. For investors and entrepreneurs, it provides a stable business environment supported by strong legal and regulatory systems. The attraction is not simply about immigration, it is about opportunity, growth, and long term potential.
And again, for anybody watching, a good question to ask yourself is, what do you believe is the biggest advantage of building your career or business in the UK? And I'll just move on to the next slide for you, Maya.
Thank you, Kelly.
Okay, it's up now. Understanding the UK.
Immigration landscape. So the UK immigration system includes employment-based routes, founder pathways, talent routes, academic pathways, and family routes. For today's audience, the most relevant options often include the Global Talent Visa, Innovator Founder Visa, Skilled Worker Visa, Scale Up route, and High Potential Individual route. Each route has a different purpose, and understanding those purposes is essential because applications are stronger when there is a natural alignment between the applicant and the chosen pathway.
It's interesting to see how the different pathways serve the different purposes. Which immigration route were you most familiar with before joining today to any of our participants? I'll just move on to the next slide, which is now up. Common misconceptions.
So one of the biggest misconceptions is the belief that there is a best visa. So there's no universally best visa. Applicants often ask which visa is easiest to get, or fastest, or has the highest approval rate. Those questions can be misleading. The better questions are, which route aligns with my professional profile, which route supports my long-term goals, which route provides most flexibility, for example. So it's very individual. A route that is ideal for a startup founder may not be suitable for an employed professional, or likewise, a route designed for recognized leaders may not be the appropriate route for someone at an early stage of their career.
That makes sense, doesn't it? And I guess there must be a desire to try and get the quickest one, but if you choose the wrong one, it will probably end up taking longer, I should imagine. Yeah, and I guess it's a very important point because many applicants ask the wrong questions. And then a question that they need to ask themselves is, what matters most to you when considering a UK immigration route? And just move on to the next slide.
Exactly.
What makes a strong application?
Yes. So, having spoken about which route is most suitable for basically in individual circumstances, it's very closely linked to what makes a strong application. So, across most routes, successful application demonstrate four characteristics: credibility, impact, potential, and of course, the evidence. Credibility relates to the applicant's experience and expertise. Impact concerns measurable outcomes the applicant or you, the audience, have achieved. Potential focuses on future contributions, and evidence is the foundation that supports every claim. So, strong applications are rarely built on the statements alone. They are built on documented achievements, references, performance records, awards, media recognition, and other supporting materials. So, each statement must be supported by concrete evidence.
We do like our paperwork. The 4 pillars discussed here are critical for any successful application. Um, which of these pillars do you think applicants overlook most, Maya?
Yes. So we did mention from the outset the misconceptions. So applicants often come with a question: How will I get settlement the fastest? Or what is the most visa that gets approved? But yes, as we mentioned, these 4 pillars are the foundations of any successful application. Credibility is obviously a must. I cannot even accept instructions if I don't accept the credibility of the client. Evidence is very obviously very important, and that's where our role is as immigration advisors, immigration lawyers is crucial. Basically, we guide the applicants in preparing the applications. We build a strategy, and obviously we support the clients in getting the correct evidence that actually the decision maker, which is not always the home office, because we are speaking here about global talent, about Innovator Founder Visa. So decision makers are the endorsing bodies first and foremost before an immigration application will be assessed by the home office. So yes, the evidence and the timing of the application. So, or basically the timing of preparing the application. The more time we allow ourselves, the better and the higher chances of success we will have. That doesn't mean that we don't get clients last minute. My leave term is expiring in 2 weeks. And of course, we have to, as experienced lawyers, obviously, we have to know how to deal with those situations as well. But where possible, allow as much time as possible to prepare the evidence and the application.
To help everybody. We all want everything yesterday, don't we? But more time is always best. Okay, just moving on then. We're on to our next slide.
Okay, and that is the changing face of UK immigration. Very relevant. Not only do we see often changes in the law, but the changes in practice they're even more frequent and common nowadays. So immigration systems worldwide are evolving. Increasingly, governments are looking beyond traditional sponsorship models and focusing on talent, innovation, economic contribution. And the UK seeks professionals who can fill skills gaps, entrepreneurs who can build businesses, innovators who can contribute to growth. This shift creates opportunities for applicants who can demonstrate not only past achievements, but also future potential. This trend is particularly visible in technology, digital transformation, AI, cybersecurity, healthcare innovation, and advanced engineering sectors.
So yes, I guess thinking about then which industry you think will create the greatest opportunities in the future, it would be any of the ones that you've listed there, the highest demand areas.
Yes, so I mean the digital technology sector is a fast-growing sector, and as a whole, obviously there are subcategories within the digital. It is a wide term, and our audience will know that even better better than me. So yes, we see a lot of potential or demand really in the UK for AI, machine learning, cybersecurity, healthcare, fintech. So all of these sectors, they are definitely in demand, and not any, but obviously, and depending on the achievements, experience, or the potential,
Yeah.
an application made with this or in these sectors, from applicants in these sectors, usually supported with the right evidence, of course, very reasonable chances of success. But again, depends on the individual
Yeah.
circumstances.
I think it's safe to say it's definitely a not one size fits all process, is it?
Definitely, yes.
Right, I've just moved on now to what immigration, that slide.
Okay, yes. So, from a legal perspective, several mistakes appear. The first one is choosing a route based on popularity rather than suitability or eligibility. The second is underestimating evidence requirements. And the third is preparing too late. We touched upon this just a few minutes ago. So, yes, many applicants assume, or clients when they come to us, or prospective clients, assume that immigration is primarily focused about or around forms. In reality, it is about presenting a compelling evidence-based case. And successful applicants think strategically and prepare long before submission.
I guess that can only look good, can't it? And instead of a rushed application, it shows that you're organised if you've got good time on your side. So, yeah, these legal insights are extremely valuable. I think we've probably covered it, but which mistakes do you think that applicants make most frequently?
I think the most frequent mistake is sometimes, for example, in a global talent visa application, I see clients at the initial conference. I see clients that undermine their achievements, and
Oh,
which is for a lawyer, it is a good thing because you have a lot of material to work with. But at the same time, there are those, although less frequent, that exceed their their achievements, and that is one of the most difficult situations as a lawyer, because you see a CV, which is excellent. You assess when you've been assessing prospects of success and advising the client, and you tell them that there are good chances of success, and then when we start the preparation, the evidence is very difficult to find, that the evidence that matches the statements made on the CV. So it is very important to have the correct evidence supporting the statements that we are making in the application.
you
So
can't get
yes,
away with these false claims here.
especially to your lawyer. So we know what we have and we know what to focus on. These initial consultations are very important, actually, because from the very outset, we can identify the strengths of an application, especially in a global talent or innovator founder. These are very individual, tailor-made applications. And having the correct facts from the beginning, it helps us identify, and it helps the client mostly. It helps us identify the weak points in the application, what to focus on, gathering maybe more evidence or stronger evidence to basically increase the chances of success and emphasize the strengths in an application.
Okay. So, yeah, make sure you stick to the correct information on your application. Okay, I'll just move us on. So we're on to the next one, behind the decision.
Okay, yes. So, how applications are assessed? Yes, so decision makers assess more than eligibility alone. They will review the documentation, consistency in the different evidence, so in the statements from the applicant, from the experts who are endorsing the applicant, the achievements, compliance, and overall suitability. They consider whether the applicant's profile aligns with the route selected. And so a strong application will tell a coherent story. The documents, evidence, objectives all will point in the same direction. This consistency often differentiates successful application from a weak one.
Understanding how applications are assessed, I guess, can significantly improve preparation. If you were assessing an application, what factor would matter most to you?
Well, it depends on the specific immigration category. We are discussing here global talent, innovator founder. As these are both of these applications, two-stage applications. The endorsement stage is the crucial element of these applications. So for the global talent, the endorsement application, because we are now speaking precisely about digital technology. So the endorsing body is Tech Nation. If I was part of Tech Nation and assessing an application for global talent, obviously the mandatory criteria, because an applicant can be very strong in their personal statements, in their evidence, but obviously there is a strictly prescribed criteria, and that must be followed. So it's not the decision and the assessment is based on how the particular applicant matches the criteria, or rather satisfies the requirements. And in a global talent application, the mandatory criteria of recognition is mandatory. It's a must. So I think a lot of emphasis, and if I was to assess the applications, I would also make emphasis or put weight on evidence of recognition. The good thing about that is, which makes our jobs and obviously the clients, it gives some predictability. We can never guarantee a success, but it does give us some predictability about the outcome, or as I mentioned, issues that we need to work on more, either emphasize, reduce weaknesses. So is the Tech Nation, there is guidance which does provide sample evidence. And yes, so this basically gives us predictability. So to answer your question concretely, if I was to assess an application, I would focus on, just like Tech Nation does actually, the how and whether particular applicant meets the criteria, because basically that is what you need to prove in for a successful application.
And I guess for kind of going through that, is that something that determines which route they go down and what route is relevant to them?
Yes. So basically, yes, that is something that we often assess during an initial consultation with the client. Because, I mean, there will be situations when one client is a suitable applicant in a global talent and the innovator founder category. So, and then that is the best client a lawyer can have.
Which one?
Because basically you have the options and you can work with both routes, and then the determinative factor will be the objective of the clients. What is the ultimate goal of the client? Do they want more freedom? Is freedom to be a freelancer, work for a employer, or found your own limited company? If the freedom is which often is, but not always, so that will be the determining factor. If obviously these freedoms that I mentioned are the determinative factor, then the global talent will be the best best solution, best route, in my opinion. If they are more focused on building their own business, they want to spend the majority of time in developing their own business, then the innovator founder may be the most suitable route. And then obviously another determinative factor is very often the route to settlement. So while global talent, for example, provides, if once you get the initial global talent visa, the settlement is more predictable outcome after 3 years, because the only requirement that you must meet is earned by your engagement in the area in which you were endorsed. There's not even a threshold imposed on how much you must earn. Where compared to the innovator founder, when the settlement criteria is quite rigidly applied and not very predictable when you're in your first year of your business, because obviously it relates to the period of 3 years. So yes, but it is very individual, and it always depends on the client's objectives.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you. I'm just going to move us on. So yeah, we're on to our next slide now.
Yes, and actually this is very closely linked to what we just discussed. So we have the first case of a startup founder with users, revenue, investment. So basically, this is the client with multiple possible options depending on the evidence and the objectives. So basically, the first client is a typical example of what I just described, that would be suitable for innovator founder and a global talent, obviously depending on the objectives. So, on the evidence first. We mentioned the mandatory criteria of recognition. In my view, that is it is mandatory, and at the same time most difficult to prove. An applicant like this probably, or a client, a startup founder, users, revenue, investment, it's all there, probably will be able to meet that criteria, but again, it will depend on the evidence. And then the objectives. And at the same time, not to focus so much on global talent, but innovator founder is an option here. So does the client have the business plan developed already? We will assess the business plan. That is the evidence of for the endorsement application, and we do our own analysis about whether the business idea, as explained via the business plan, is innovative, viable, scalable. And we also assess the chances of success for an endorsement application. So yes, and then lastly, the objectives, which I already mentioned. So yeah, I will not be repeating myself, but and then we have the technology professional with leadership experience and industry recognition, that he may be, or they may be suitable for routes that recognize talent and expertise. So obviously the obvious one is global talent, but not necessarily. Again, it very much depends on the evidence and the objectives. And then we have the entrepreneur expanding an existing business. That applicant or that client may or probably will require a very different strategy altogether. If they want to expand an overseas business and establish presence in the UK, the obvious one is the UK business expansion route. However, when it comes to the objectives, many clients, when they hear that this is a route that doesn't lead to settlement, leave to remain is granted for up to 2 years, and then they can remain in the UK, but they cannot extend this visa. So basically, the usual route is switching from UK business expansion worker to the skilled worker route. So again, the objectives will be the determinative factor. At the same time, the UK business expansion worker allows that route allows a company to uh, relocate a whole team of 5 individuals at any one
Okay.
time
Right.
to develop the UK branch and run. So basically, that's why it is granted for 2 years
Yeah.
usually, because it is assumed that 2 years will be enough to set up the business.
Mm.
And if that is a determinative factor for the overseas, for the parent company, then obviously the UK business expansion worker will be the preferred route. So these three examples actually very well demonstrate how
Mm.
evidence, objectives are determining what is the best route in any specific scenario. So it's very individual.
Yeah, yeah, it definitely shows that it's every immigration journey is unique, especially when, we have kind of three very successful examples here. You'd like to think that
Yes.
they've got a lot of evidence to, I bet all of those would be a dream to have along.
New clients.
Is there an applicant profile that you relate to most here? I think that they all sound amazing.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, yes, please.
Well, actually, yes, yes, we are lucky to have this like real life
Yeah.
case to work with.
Yeah. Fab. I'll just move us on then. Okay. So, do you have anything to add here, Maya, or shall I move on?
I think we can move on.
Okay, well, thank you. It's a great opportunity to reflect, for everyone to reflect on their own goals and to ask themselves what's been their biggest takeaway so far. And before we move into the Q&A session, if we have any this evening, I'd like to briefly introduce the wider opportunities available through the London School of Emerging Technology. LSET is committed to supporting professionals, entrepreneurs, founders and innovators through education, industry engagement, mentoring and startup support programs. For aspiring founders and startup teams, we are currently welcoming applications for the LSET Startup Incubator July Cohort 2026. The program provides mentorship, networking opportunities, workshops, and access to an international startup ecosystem. We encourage you to visit the LSET website and follow us on social media to stay updated on upcoming webinars, workshops, and innovation initiatives. Okay, so do we have any questions here? I don't think we do we? Okay. Well, thank you, Maya, for sharing such valuable insights.
Thank you.
Um,
Yes, and
okay.
just to add on
Hmm.
London School of Emerging Technology, that we spoke here, we touched upon not just the initial application but settlement. So I would add that immigration is only one part of the journey,
Hmm.
and obviously founders, entrepreneurs, they will need the access to networks, mentorships, partnerships, business support, and so basically to grow their business, but again linked to immigration um, in some part when it
Yeah.
comes to reaching the goal of settlement, but also the main goal, the ultimate aim of these individuals is growing their business. And obviously these networks, partnerships are extremely important. So this is where incubators, accelerators, and innovation ecosystems can play an important role. Building a business in a new country is not only about legal permissions,
Mm.
it is about building relationships, accessing resources, and creating opportunities for growth.
Fantastic. I mean, I think that we've covered most of the questions that I would have thought of, but maybe just a couple more. Any advice you would give someone beginning their immigration journey today?
Yes. So, advice for anyone beginning their
What
journey.
I'm taking is evidence, evidence, and be
Yes,
honest.
evidence, evidence. Um, yes, not only that, but I mean, my first advice would be, um, schedule a consultation and, convey or your individual circumstances. I often see examples of clients or potential clients coming to us and or coming to me and stating that, oh, my friend did that, or I spoke to this and this, or I'm in this forum on Facebook, social media. Yes, that all helps, but not always. Your individual circumstances should be the starting point in this journey. And sometimes clients who have very good chances or reasonable chances of success in, let's say, the global talent or innovator founder category, they would come to me and ask for skilled worker visa, for sponsorship opportunities. So my first and foremost advice is, every case is different, and your strengths, your achievements are only yours. So the application, or even not just the application, the decision about what particular pathway is the most suitable, is obviously the clients, the applicants themselves. So yeah.
Get professional advice on your bespoke journey, I guess. And
Yes.
is there any type of evidence that tends to have the greatest impact in applications?
Yes. So for basically for the innovator founder visa, let's say, that is the obviously the business plan, because that is a must for an
Yeah.
endorsement. Very good business plan that is that contains innovation analysis, viability analysis, scalability analysis, and as I mentioned, there are a lot of changes in the laws, but we see a lot of changes, like even more frequent changes in the practice. So when it comes to the innovator founder visa, the basically business idea should match the applicant's experience, qualifications. That is all part of the evidence. For a global talent application, I would say the letters of recommendations are one of the core, the crucial elements that
Right.
assessed. So not only the strengths of the statements made about the applicant, but evidence or strength of the authors that provide the letters of recommendations for the applicant. Digital technology applicants actually are lucky to some extent in this regard, because the authors of the letters of recommendation for digital technology applicants, oh sorry, it's the censors in my office. Um, so the authors can be individuals. It's much more restrictive in the other disciplines for global talent visa, but digital technology, they can be individuals as well. But it is very important, and applicants sometimes tend, especially if we see an application that was prepared by an applicant without the assistance of lawyer, immigration advisor, they skip that part about establishing the credentials of the experts who provide the letters of recommendation. So yes, this is the evidence basically that is crucial. The personal statements also in a digital technology application, I always tell my clients from the beginning, don't be modest. Just this is your opportunity to wow the Tech Nations panel. So I ask them not to be modest, and I ask them not to worry about any words, limitations in the number of characters. Where just show off your own awards, because you never know. Even sometimes a detail they may think it's not that important, it actually may prove determinative in later in the process. So yes, it is. It is all this evidence and documents important in these type of
Okay.
applications.
More is more in this case.
Yes.
And finally, I don't know if we could generalize, but is there something that founders should consider before choosing an immigration pathway? It sounds like they just come and get professional advice.
Yes, I would say yes. Do get a professional advice because I mean sometimes I know this. We do offer, and most immigration advisors offer a free consultation. It is limited in time. Yes, it's sometimes 15 minutes, 20 minutes, but even this free consultation can sometimes provide guidance. So they it can lead to client having a much better idea about what route is most suitable for their individual circumstances. So yes, I would advise, especially in these are complex applications, global talent, innovator, founder visa. I'm not saying a client, there's no successful applicants that have done this on their own. I'm not saying that, but these are applications that are, as I said, tailor-made applications, and the evidence we know from our experience what Tech Nation is looking to see, what evidence they place significant weight on, and obviously having that guidance. Basically, we provide hand holding in these type of applications, but it is very much a process of working together, because we are not experts in digital technology, in AI, in machine learning. The client is the expert. So
Yeah.
global talent, innovator, founder applications, they require, for good preparation, they require a lot of cooperation between the applicant and their advisor. Only together we can emphasize the strengths and identify and address any weaknesses, and obviously by doing those things, chances of success would be higher.
Brilliant. Thank you. And just as we come to the end of today's session, I would like to extend my sincere thanks to our speaker, Maya Kalanoska, for sharing her expertise, insights, and practical guidance. I'd like to thank anybody joining us and participating throughout the webinar. We hope this session has provided clarity on UK immigration pathways and helped you better understand the opportunities available. On behalf of the London School of Emerging Technology, we invite you to stay connected with us for future webinars, workshops, startup programs, and innovation initiatives. Please follow LSET on LinkedIn, YouTube, and our social media channels, and do share this webinar with your colleagues and networks. Thank you once again for joining us today. Have a wonderful day ahead, and we look forward to welcoming you to another LSET event very soon.
Thank you, Kelly, and thank you everyone that joined us today.
Thank you.
Thank you, London School of Emerging Technology, of course.
All right, Shyla, are you there? We're ready to end. Do we have a Shyla? Where is she?
We're still on air, I think.
We are still on air, aren't we?
Okay, I think I
Okay.
will leave.
Okay, Shyla. Maya. So I was doing so well, wasn't I? Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, take care.
Thanks.
Bye.
Have a
See you
lovely evening.
soon.
Bye. 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 Bye.
Bye.